And now I'd like to ask Arthur Miranchuk with the Beck Group to make his way up to the stage.
Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. They got lucky and didn't have to do a presentation, so they decided to put the new guy with the first presentation. I'm excited to be speaking at the Forecast for the first time. Like you said, my name is Arthur Miranchuk. I'm with the Beck Group for the Fort Worth and North Texas office and region. Our company is a bunch of architects and builders focused on innovation and improving delivery methods. There's so many factors for us to focus on. Or actually, I did want to mention our Fort Worth office is actually going to be moving into a new space from Hempville to 464 Bailey. And so Scott Bennett, who runs that office, wanted me to invite you all. And so I said, well, you got to pick up their tab. So when I say you're all invited, please all show up so we can rec up that tab for him. But as you guys know, we've had a crazy few years. They kind of hit on a lot of the points that I'll be focusing on from the construction aspect. It's been hit, the industry's been hit hard from everything from the labor market. We've heard of the Great Recession, and we've recently got the Great Resignation happening. It's been impacting all types of shortages. I saw a statistic earlier this week that 4.4 million people quit their job in September, and that's either for career change or moving to a competitor or something like that. And then material pricing, doesn't it feel like deja vu? It's 2022 all over again. And then the schedule impact. My wife's Amazon packages aren't the only thing that are showing up late, so we've all been hit with that. I was told 2021 was going to be different, but I felt like it was the same thing all over again. Again, so I just want to kind of show skilled labor that we've been, the group just was talking about. It's been going down. We're losing candidates. We're losing people to different industries, changing careers. Material costs seem to keep going up. It's a up and down. It's a roller coaster. We don't know what call we're going to get from a vendor. There's a few big ones that people don't even realize. Roofing material, the installation for roofing just seems to just up and down. You never know. So it's been difficult for some of our teams. But on the construction side, it's been blowing up, both private and public. Organizations are rushing to kick things off, especially in Fort Worth. We've been excited to see what our area here in Tarrant County has been doing, and so we're excited to see what 2022 is ahead for us. I kind of want to start here just architecture seems to always kind of push development from what are people doing up there, what are our customers doing. So the Architectural Billings Index from AIA kind of shows you the future construction. It serves a little bit 9 to 12 month indicator for non-residential construction, and so above 50 score means that they're getting, the firm is continuing to get good billings, and then below 50 indicates that they're declining. And thankfully, Texas is in the southern region, and we've been above the 50 mark all of 2021 at a 53.7. So billings are happening. Developers are moving forward with projects that maybe have been put on hold. So that's a good sign for us, and I don't think we're surprised, but I think the rest of the nation is surprised as we see people continue to flock to Texas. On that same point from the ENR index, the confidence for construction has been continuing to go up. As you can see, same thing, it's a rating above 50 means it's in the positive. And if you see on 2019, we were below a 50, or right above a little 50. Now we're at 65. The confidence continues to rise. Same time last year, we were at a 40. So 2022 ended really hot, and we think that's going to continue for 2022. And so this just kind of shows you just what I was talking about. Pre-pandemic, we're at a 59, slowing down, and then back up to 68, 65 in Q3 and Q4 of 21. So it's exciting to see investors continue to come to Texas, developers picking up projects that maybe got put on hold. So exciting things for us to look forward to 2022. And so just to kind of hit on what they were speaking to on the labor shortages, what do you think the average age is for a skilled craftsman profession? And this surprised me. It was 51. By 2031, 41% of skilled craftsmen will be retired, and that's from all sectors. I mean, all crafts. And so the average professional entering right now trying to get into the skilled labor is 29. So to Robert's point, I think what we need to do is continue to get local colleges and schools to encourage people to come in and try these crafts and specialty roles, because I think that'll help our industry, and it'll help kind of everybody throughout the industry. And it's the top 5. It's the 7th year consecutively that it's in the top 5 hardest hit jobs to fill, and so that impacts us pretty significantly. And so just kind of gives you an area of what areas of design and construction is struggling and which ones are stabilizing. And so everything from our designers, contractors, to our subs, which is our specialty, we don't know how long we're going to stay in that stabilized. There's the long term that you just saw by 2030. I mean, so many will be retired. But thankfully for us locally here, the Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas just came out with a statistic that we're 1% above pre-pandemic in the employment. So locally, we seem to be staying stable and potentially in the growth. And so to Robert's point earlier too, we got to continue to encourage businesses to show that they can have this as a long-time career. On this slide here, it's kind of probably hard to see, but this just kind of shows you the material chaos we're still having, the supply chain, construction logistics, all the material challenges. Like I mentioned, our estimators and construction professionals are struggling because vendors keep calling weekly with different lists of what material has gone up, what can't find. It's a weekly thing for us. So as this graph is showing, we got really hit in late 2020, and it's continuing to go up. But the list keeps changing. Here you see it's plywood, copper, but like I mentioned earlier, now it's things that we just did not expect: roofing material, specialty items, things that we just can't get locally are becoming more and more difficult and just harder to plan for. Same with this. This is just a cost index. I know it's pretty small here, but the takeaway from here is just that we're 7 points risen from last year. We think it's going to continue to go higher, and so some of the details you'll be able to see when you guys get my presentation at the end of the day. You can look more into this, and we think as the cost index keeps coming out for this year, we'll probably see that increase. Looking at the ULI emerging trends, DFW, Fort Worth continues to be in the top 10 markets. I think they mentioned we were number 12 on the most populated cities. So we're staying there as a local market that people are interested in and investing and coming to. And so one key thing is from the local market, we're up 0.11% higher from last year. So we think that's going to continue to trend in that direction. So the investor demand keeps coming to the Fort Worth, Tarrant County area, which is very exciting. And so, I mentioned all the problems. Now, our customers are asking us, well, what's the solution? How do we control these 3 areas that are being difficult to so volatile? And that's design build. Our clients keep asking, some of you may have heard about design build. Beck Group's been involved and focused on this for many years now, and so we're excited to share with people and get new clients and customers that are interested to learn about this. Design build conversations lead to just early project overall success. I know it makes people nervous that, hey, I'm signing something up pretty, setting my target value too early, and maybe it might not get the design I want, but it's actually the opposite. So I kind of want to show you just a quick trajectory of, here's your typical construction start. It's, the design is slow in the beginning, conversations are slow. You do concepts, you're estimating, you're going back and forth with VE and trying to figure out, can we make this project work? And so the red line here kind of shows you it's where you can influence the project the most. And of course, that's early on. You got the ability to make the design choices early. So for the material aspect, if you can get something early and locked in, well, then you can buy out early. You can do your procurement early. You can plan for those things that we're struggling on figuring out which material is going to be not showing up on time. And so with this, when we can get people involved early, there it goes. You get the owner, the designer, and the contractor involved early, so there's more collaboration, more cost savings discussions. You don't have to go through a full design to figure out what do I need a VE out to make this work. You can set your target value, what we call target value design is you can set that target pretty early, and so it helps people understand what that project's going to cost them. And so what that creates is it creates a less effort at the end. So meaning here's the the value that's created. It's at the end. And so that's become a big conversation for how do we control the labor issues? How do we control the costs of materials? It's, hey, let's buy out early. Let's plan for our design to work in the beginning stages. And so, the biggest thing, the biggest takeaway is we still stand to what we said last year. Now is the time to kick off a project. It's the time to make a development work. And so I know it takes a lot of effort up front, but pricing, we just don't know what's going to happen. So let's lock in on a project early. And so, I'm open to conversation. If I'm, in my perspective, I think it's going to be a great year. So we're excited to see what happens. And then just here, I wanted to give you guys an opportunity. Maybe some of you may have received this cost report. Every year we send out a cost report at the end of Q4. And so you're welcome to pull out your phones and snap the QR code, or you'll see that in this presentation when you have access to it. And just again, thanks again for giving me the opportunity to give you guys an update. Come see our Fort Worth office when we open and rack up that tab like I mentioned.